There are currently estimated to be just over 500 identified Holocaust survivors living in Cleveland today, compared to nearly 1,000 just 4 years ago.
As the responsibility to never forget starts to fall on the next generations, programs that support Holocaust awareness are critical to keeping those memories and lessons alive. Russ Mitchell reports.
The first thing that came out was an edict that all Jews had to start to wear the yellow Star of David. So all of a sudden, people would disappear, and particularly young children, you're never to be heard from again. And this is what began to happen.
Joined by his wife of 63 years and two of his granddaughters, Nathan Lipsyc shared his story of survival.
My mother was hidden in one place, my sister hidden somewhere else, and I went to my first home. I was 3.5 years old and went into hiding.
This is Zikaron Basalon, a Hebrew phrase meaning remembrance in the living room. The idea to connect survivors with the younger generation.
Tonight we are gathered here to hear my grandfather's story of the Holocaust and to engage in a meaningful discussion about our obligation as young people to keep the memories of the Holocaust alive.
Nat's father was among the 6 million Jews murdered in the Holocaust, but he considers himself one of the lucky ones. He was hidden and cared for by 11 different families in his native Belgium during the war.
There are a lot of good people in this world. There's some rotten ones as well, but there are a lot of good people. You just need to be judicious and get the right person and get to meet with them and get to know them.
He also knows the importance of sharing stories like his own.
The only thing I always knew, thanks to my mother, is that I was Jewish and who I was, and to be reminded of that, which is something we need to teach, to understand the wonderful things and opportunities that opens and that teaches us to be.
Lessons that touched participants, like host Alyssa Wolliger, who opened up her home for the event.
The story of the human side of the Holocaust is incredibly traumatic. And it was wonderful to hear how, there are good people in the world. It makes me think of how important it is to do good every day, to take care of people who need help every day.
It's a responsibility his grandchildren feel as well.
It's important to have events like this. When my grandfather's no longer here, I want to make sure that we have these memories for future generations to come. And I think it's important that every year we still remember it and tell it, because we don't want history to repeat itself. My grandfather had to be hidden during the war just because he was Jewish. And so we take for granted a lot of the times what he had to go through for us to be here.
Russ Mitchell, 3 News.